5.
Welcome back to our GURPS Hammer campaign. I am Rigil, your GM for tonight's session. This campaign will be utilizing GURPS 4E rules, but is set in the Empire of Man, found in the Warhammer Fantasy role-playing setting, and in Warhammer Fantasy Battles, and in Warhammer Total War, etc. In addition to our live streams on Twitch, this and all future sessions will also be available on YouTube and as audio-only podcasts. Links will be found in the descriptions. FX Engineer, I see you have already made your secret roll into the skull. Thank you. Do you have any character business for Christoph?
I do have one thing that I didn't ask you about previously, so I just want to ask now is equip or weapon bond perk for my bow.
Uh-huh.
If I
Okay.
can get that, if not, what do I need to do to work towards that? I feel like I've been, I use my bow a lot. It's my weapon of choice.
Yes, I'm trying to remember the exact specifics. I don't think there is anything other than just spending the stuff.
No, it's just the perk. Now it's a little more complicated in GCA.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Okay, cool. Then I'll spend 1 point for the perk for weapon bond on my bow.
Groovy, groovy, groovy.
That means
That's
you have
all
the
I got.
word sticker on it.
Yep. And desperately hope I don't break it.
I know.
Yeah, it's like inviting the GM to take it away from you.
Nosh, you accomplished your short-term ambition a couple sessions ago. Need a new one, although obviously this will be the last session for you for a while. So keep that in mind. Do you have any character business for Enfys?
Yes, I do. So I've put a point into haste and a point into glue because I used both those spells last session.
Alrighty.
But not at the same time.
And I'm also looking, because I've still got one scroll that I can learn a spell from, and I'm giving serious thought to getting a spell from the Protection and Warning College.
Okay.
A possible short-term goal question is, given that he just took a sword slash to the guts, is there any way for him to learn any kind of magical healing, or at least get something to help with magical healing when he needs it in a pinch?
There are potions that are potentially available. Based off of his college of selection, I do not think that you can learn healing, but I'm not positive. I will double check that.
Okay, because that could be a short-term goal if he could learn a healing spell. Otherwise, that's all the business I have.
Cool. All right, Gigerman, you also need a new short-term ambition. And do you have any character business for York?
I have now added combat aspected luck. I also bumped a couple of techniques. And as to the short-term ambition, very last minute or last hour, I have decided that his immediate goal shall be to see justice done upon Klumpendouche.
Okay.
He's not just going to go run a narc on him, but he will definitely allow him to out himself. Perhaps even nudge him in that direction.
Snitches get stitches.
That's rather amusing. Okay.
He learned that.
All right.
He learned that in prison in Australia.
That's because we're all convicts here.
Or at least descended from them. All right. Mel, do you have any character business for Copperton?
The only thing I had was to spend 2 points to bump up shield skill to 14.
shiny. That puts your block at what, 12 now?
Yep.
Cool. Ronki, I just saw that you went and rolled your secret into the skull. Thank you kindly. Do you have any character business for Soren?
Yes, I have bumped his short sword skill up 1 level.
Right after you broke your short sword.
It's the shortest sword now.
He's like, well, I've learned something now.
Yeah,
You have
don't do that.
learned that when Copper Tongue tells you that thing may look, or you may think it's nice, but it's actually garbage, you should probably listen to her.
Suppose you could grind out the business end into a point and turn it into a knife.
Actually, might not be able to do that at all.
I guess it depends where it breaks.
Yeah, there was some extra stuff about that, but I think it needed to be longer for that to be salvageable.
I can't remember. I think there's a book that actually gives you a table you can roll on for that sort of
I
stuff.
want to say that's in
Yeah,
martial
we actually
arts.
did that.
We had to look that up for to find out where Jorg's greatsword broke.
We didn't say that as a note, did we?
I doubt
We
it.
have a lot of notes.
Yeah. But Soren believes Copper Tongue now. It's garbage. I only dropped it and it smashed.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yep.
All right, I believe you. Can you make me something good?
Well, we can see about it.
Can you pay her lots of money?
Mates rates.
Oh, all right. So last session we ended up down here in the sewers. Lovely place. The sewers. And you were traveling with witch hunter apprentice Albrecht Kessel. You encountered a number of suspiciously rat-like beastmen who fought, and when they died, they burst into acid and melted. All but 2 of you are at least slightly injured. So, first and foremost, those who are injured, I need a health check at -2. Copper Tongue will get the +8 racial bonus, and fit does apply. This is infected wounds, and the reason I'm actually having you roll it is simply because of the suspiciously rat-like beastmen's weapons.
Okay, that's a fail by 2 for Soren.
All right, then I'm definitely going to have to make a note of that. So I believe it is everybody but Jorg and Kristoff have to make those checks.
And your junk
Copper
falls
Tongue
off.
is good. Margin crit.
Damn. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she's kind of fine with that.
Fail by 1 for Enfys.
All right, we've got 2 people that have infected wounds. And now I'm like realizing I should have had something up and running beforehand. Okay, so effectively what happens with infected wounds is a typical infection generally requires a daily health roll, and with a failure indicating the loss of 1 fatigue or 1 hit point that cannot be recovered magically or something like that. So the infection will progress until you either make that health roll, which ends the infection, or you die. Good times. And I'm trying to boot up the other instance really quickly. so I can get Albrecht to make a roll as well.
Would a magical cure disease work?
Yes.
But magical healing doesn't.
Yes, because this is technically considered a disease.
Can we do some post-combat first aids?
And I was going to, recommend that straight away as well.
Yeah, emphasis at 1 hit point.
Well, let's see if we can get him up to 2.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right. Wow. Even with that. Oh, that was less of a good roll than I thought it was. Right. So,
FX, your open mic.
Hot mic there, Jorg.
It's not Jorg.
Christoph.
It's FX.
Oh, sorry,
Well,
Jorg.
I have it on because I figured I might have to talk in a moment to do the first aid stuff.
So, with regards to the first aid, currently Albrecht is still alive. He is very badly injured. He's unconscious. The next badly injured person is Enfys. And after that, actually, it's kind of a tie between Soren and Coppertongue.
Of course, I'm very much as a player still open to whoever voted in favor of watching the Witch Hunter die in my poll in the Discord channel. I'm certainly open to anybody who voted with me to see him die.
Well, while everyone's getting first aided, don't look over your shoulder because you might see Soren stabbing this dude to death.
I did vote for him to die.
Okay, I will not look over my shoulder.
No, Soren actually wants him to live because
I'm at a 13
no particular
on
reason.
first aid. I don't know if Jorg has a better first aid.
No, he does not.
And then all I have is just basic tools and no bonuses for
Yeah.
first aid.
All right.
You're
that-
doing first aid is more emergency than emergency.
So yeah,
right.
with that in mind, you could have Christoph or both of you splitting up and doing the initial. It's like, okay, I'm gonna stop the bleeding, make sure this person's no longer bleeding, and then you can have probably Christoph actually do the proper stuff. Unless there's some other way you want to how you want to handle
Are you
it.
doing the modifiers for healing based on like location and like -1 for every like 5 hit points, etc.?
That's bleeding. I'm not aware of penalties for that for the skill.
Yeah, there's no penalties to your first aid roll except if you don't have adequate equipment.
Well, right. Well, I mean, not. That's why I was asking if you were using the rules from martial arts for bleeding, different types of bleeding.
Yeah, that's bleeding is like every minute. So as long
Oh,
as
you're
as
saying
long
for
as
the health roll, but it could also be applied to the bleeding roll, right? Or no? I guess you're saying
Yeah.
no. To the first aid roll to stop bleeding.
If FX is remembering correctly, there is a thing about if you're using the bleeding rules that that there are penalties applied to the amount of the injury to the bandaging check.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like if it's in the vitals, it's harder to stop that kind of a bleeding, for example.
Well, I don't recall hitting any of the PCs in the vitals.
And then if it's like a
Where do
really
I
bad
have it?
bleeder, well, I'm gonna do probably Emphas first.
Bandaging severe wounds. Okay, so if you're injured, you may continue to lose HP due to bleeding. Yeah, so on a failure, you bleed. On a crit fail, that's 3.
Yeah, I mean it's an optional roll. It says you can apply it to the first aid rolls
Well,
made to all bleeding.
yeah, bandaging severe wounds. That's
It'll make it really hard. Somebody might die.
no, in this case, it wouldn't apply because that is to staunch bleeding from skull, eye, neck, vitals, or veins and arteries, and none of the PCs were struck there. It was just regular torso strikes. Right. So, okay, you're gonna have to mute that.
I wonder if you could adjust your mic sensitivity so it's you know, less sensitive to your background noise.
Right. So is Christoph the only one that is doing bandaging? Because I know Jorg can.
Okay. The additional penalties are for severe wounds, and we don't have that at the moment. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so Jörg has an 11. He's got slightly better than 50-50 chance of actually successfully stopping bleeding.
I legitimately thought you were better than that.
No.
You should get better than that.
Like I said, his emergency aid is more emergency.
Well, the thing there, the thing that comes to mind with this is, according to the rules, full first aid takes 30 minutes in this tech level, and I can guarantee you that the witch hunter would bleed out in 30 minutes if he's left unattended, but he's not going to be the only one that would be bleeding.
Okay.
Well, the choices.
You could take extra time. It would require whoever you do that on to make at least one bleeding roll.
It says that it takes 1 minute to apply pressure or tourniquet to stop bleeding. We have three people that are bleeding.
You
4.
have 4 people that are bleeding.
So 2 of them are not getting it in the first minute.
Yeah,
That's
so
probably going to be Soren and Coppertongue, because while they are injured, they are not as badly injured as the other 2.
So, since Enfys is at least ambulatory at the moment, I will attempt to bandage him and let Christoph handle Albrecht. Ironically,
Is the witch hunter even people? I mean, let's be honest.
yeah, no, he's not people.
assuming we actually have bandages, because I don't.
Why don't you strip the rat people of their clothes and bandage Kessel with those?
That melted.
Well, then just pour the slop on it.
Also infection. Just rub
Got a
some
bunch of
dirt in.
glue over
Oh,
there.
wait. That's not dirt.
I'm not seeing the. I'm just seeing this as a win-win-win for Kessel, really.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm throwing
I
mine.
love the idea. I love the idea of you guys letting him bleed out, because then then you it's like straight up have an enemy of his dad, and his dad can bring a lot more power against the PCs. It'll be great.
Okay, what does this actually do?
Just means his dad's going to have to die too.
That's right. And 2-bit hunters down, really the world's better off.
So I guess that means I do not stop the bleeding.
That
Yes,
does, in fact, seem to be the case. So, Christoph, make your first aid check, please. Huzzah! He does stop the bleeding on Witch Hunter Kessel, Apprentice Kessel. All righty. Now, that means the end of every minute after being wounded,
Wait.
make a...
Wait, what did you say about the witch hunter?
Jorg told you to bandage him while he tried to bandage Enfys.
No, I was not bandaging. I am not bandaging the witch hunter. And I was going to bandage Emphis, but if that's what Jorg was going to do, then I will go to Copper Tongue or Thorin. No way in hell is he going to go to the witch hunter
That's
and
the
bandage
spirit.
him.
totally understandable.
Jurgen's going to give Christoph the look.
Yeah. You're going to give me that.
Give the look right back.
All right. Let's see. So that means it's either Soren or Coppertongue. One of them is no longer bleeding.
Or-
Enfys is going to need to make a health -1. Whichever one of Soren or Coppertongue is not was not targeted also needs to do that. I'm not sure which one it's going to be.
Or he, instead of doing Kessel, he would have done Enfys, leaving Jorg to try and look after Kessel. In terms of urgency, anyway.
Jurgen's going to stand his ground.
So is there any way that I can automatically fail a first aid roll? Because then I will do that.
Do acting.
You can automatically fail any roll just by not doing it. Sticking your finger in the wound and like ripping out stuff.
That's what I'll do then.
Right.
If Jorg is going to
Enfys
stand
needs
his
to make-
ground and force me, then he will do some malicious compliance.
That seems like a leadership role or something like that. Or intimidation. Depends how he's standing his ground.
First off, once we start, I guess. Okay, let's start over. Christoph is typically the guy who handles the medical stuff. So, what's the first thing he does? Because Jurgen's not going to immediately jump into that because it's not normally his thing. He'll start helping when he realizes that help is needed.
Yeah, he would have gone to Emphis as obviously the most in need of help, first aid. And then since you were already there trying to help him and you said, go help the witch hunter or whatever, then he would have probably like given you the middle finger. And probably would have said something like the hell I am, or something like that. And if you would have forced it, I think he will go and pretend to bandage the
Doesn't have the ability to force it unless he's going to use, force.
yeah.
And that's not going to work. So, so you're saying no, and he's.
This sounds absolutely accurate and how it should play out.
So he is gonna try to. I don't know what else he could do other than try to say that's an order.
Yeah, and
That
he'll
guy's
be like,
beyond
"I
my
am
ability.
captain," and he'll like give you the salute, and he'll go find something to stick into the witch hunter's injury and play it off as a failed first aid roll.
Okay. All right. Well, we're back there then.
Right. So cycling back, that means the other 3 injured, which would be Infus, Copper Tongue, and Soren, will all need to make a health -1 check.
Cern will bleed.
Wow, look at Infus. Okay, so that means Infus does not lose
Your
You're
open
gonna
mic.
have FX. That's
Yeah.
way too loud.
That's too loud.
Infus does not lose an additional hit point this round. The other 2 did, which I adjusted.
I've already. Did you also adjust Cern?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'll adjust him back.
Okay, so then that's the first minute. Then it'll be the next minute where you guys can move on or do retry the first aid stuff.
So I'm guessing that Jörg is probably not really aware that Enfys isn't quite fully patched up, so he's going to move on to the next person, whichever it is. Random roll. Odd is Soren. Soren it is. God help you. Hey, that one worked.
All right, so in the second minute, let's see. So Soren will have stopped or is now no longer bleeding because of the binding.
And I get 1 point back.
What is Christoph doing? Is he like shifting over to Copper Tongue?
Okay, so 2 minutes. Everybody
No,
should
this
have
is
been
the
looked at
second
least
minute.
once.
This is the second minute.
It is the second minute.
Yeah, right.
So,
He moved from Infus to Soren, so that leaves Copper Tongue. I guess you could just roll for her.
yeah, let's go to Copper Tongue because she needs first aid. I wouldn't even think to look at Infus at this point, but his plan would be to once the circle, once everybody's been looked at least immediately, he'll go back and kind of check everybody's bandages and dressings, make sure they're applied correctly, and that the bleeding did indeed stop.
Okay. Well, make your roll. All right. So she will recover 1 point. I will reduce that, and she is no longer bleeding. All right. So this at the end of this round, Infus, you will need to make another -1 check, health check. All right. So point of just so you know, if you make another one on round on the third minute that is successful, that just means you have naturally stopped bleeding because it says
Excellent.
three consecutive checks means stops bleeding.
Die.
I hope
Die,
this guy
Kessel,
bleeds to
die.
death.
You're not going to like it if he does.
Hey, these guys speak German. That's just me saying the Kessel, the, not die, Kessel, die.
All right.
All right.
So, on the third minute, you said you were going back to double check, or Christoph is going back to double check everybody's stuff. So actually,
Yeah.
that would be he'd probably check Infus first because he finishes and
Yeah.
Jorg is like right there over Soren and starting to lean back or get up or whatever.
Ooh. Kessel just went red. So that's a death check.
Yeah, I know. Did you not see my health check there?
Ah, too bad.
This is going to be very, very interesting for the GM if you guys do let him bleed out. It'll be great. Okay, so I'm wondering if he's checking the stuff. That probably means Infus would need to make another bandage check. Not Infus. Bandage, but another health check. Whoa, boo.
Well, if
3 total or 3 in a row?
3 in a
No,
row. It says 3
consecutive.
Which does that not mean 3 in a row?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he starts bleeding again, and he has to try and get three in a row again.
Right, but Christoph was going back and double checking him, so he might be able
And
to.
then Christoph can go ahead and make another first aid check. What was your first aid check there for York?
I think I failed my first roll there.
Emphas.
So Enfys
It's,
will bleed one.
Yeah, that puts him at 0, doesn't it?
That it does.
So Emphas is going to die. That was a perception-based first aid. I wanted to see if York might potentially be able to look at Albrecht and see that he's not getting any better.
Yeah, that's a lot of blood.
The steadily growing pool of blood doesn't sort of tip you off to the fact that he's still bleeding. The squirt that comes out of this wound every second.
Under normal circumstances, I think Yerk would just assume Christoph would do his job there, but given that he has resisted, in this case, the whole army leader thing is going to take over, and he's going to have to go look. And yeah, it looks like. Did you actually do anything with this guy? I think York will go ahead and give it a shot.
Yeah, he used the dirty bandages from the rat people. Then tie them up. properly.
Hey! Yerk takes a minute and stops the bleeding and looks at Christoph like, the hell?
Which means, let's see. So that's another minute. I believe that since he failed that bandage, or Christoph failed that bandage check, that means Infus has to make another health check at -2 this time because you are now in a second
No.
increment of 5.
Enfys already made that roll and he failed.
Yes, he's bleeding.
Yeah,
That
so
means he continues to bleed.
so he bled that turn that Christoph also failed. So if Christoph does a repeated attempt on Enfys, Enfys won't bleed this turn. So Enfys bled on the same turn that Christoph failed.
Yeah, I think GM got out of sequence there.
Okay.
So if Christoph can pull off a successful
And then
roll
my
this turn,
and my
Enfys won't
second-
bleed.
My second first aid roll, I made it by 4
Okay.
on Memphis.
Alrighty.
See, you rolled twice on purpose.
And then Enfys will get 1 hit point back. Ah, I just noticed.
He's just going like in and out of attempted consciousness.
The hit point field doesn't show 0. It shows blank when it's 0.
Where?
Right.
If you have a look, I don't know if it is on the GM side, but if you increase the damage on Enfys to 10 again,
I would gladly do that.
you'll see the hit point
Oh.
field
okay.
is blank instead of 0.
No, I see 0 on current hit point on the front page.
On the tracker,
Oh, on the tracker, I see 0.
okay, so it's only
Really?
the player side that sees blank.
Yep. I can screenshot.
Huh.
No, that's all right. There's the player screen and the GM screen are separate things in the rule set.
Righto. All right. So, what is the next step?
I'm just
Proper first
lying
aid.
around.
So we've got the 30-minute part of the first
Yep.
aid. However, this is not exactly the environment for this.
But I think if you have to do it within a period of time, so otherwise, is that not correct?
That used to be a 3rd edition rule where it specifically said you have, they call it the golden hour.
Uh-huh.
But 4th edition doesn't actually mention that.
That doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
Well, I
think
think
from-
it's probably reasonable.
I think it just assumes like if you were to get other injuries, you can't go back and do first aid on the original injuries. But probably as long as we do first aid before they sustain any other injuries, it would make sense. I don't know if that made any sense.
Well, the way it words it is you can take extra time. I don't know if that allows for taking a break to get out of a bad area before you take that extra time. So it seems reasonable to me that you that extra time would have to take place immediately, and therefore you can't really move until we're done with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to rule for the time being. I'm going to make another note to look up like golden hour.
So that means we need to roll again for all the persons involved.
That is probably true.
And since Jörg can see that Christoph is not paying a great deal of attention to Albrecht, he will go ahead and roll for him. He may yet live.
Nice roll.
All right.
Well,
so
Enfys, let me try this again.
it recovers 1d minus 2 in this tech level.
Nope.
So he has got the 1 point that he is. Oh yeah, I forgot to actually. Aha! I'd forgotten to actually apply the 1 point from your you stopped when you did the initial bandaging, which puts him back 1 point under another death check. Oh right, I completely forgot that FX put all that stuff in there. So that's going to be 1 more point, I believe, for Infus. So he's down 8
Right.
instead of 9.
Okay, I've corrected that.
Yay! All right, so that's 30 minutes.
Now, am I still making health checks?
No, you
Nope.
don't need to anymore. You the bleeding was stopped.
Excellent. Thank you, Christoph.
Okay, so that's
My
30
pleasure.
minutes.
We need Soren and Queen Copperton.
Yep.
So I'll assume that Christoph will handle those two.
I was wanting to
I just
load
rolled for
something.
Albrecht since he was being ignored.
Who was that one for?
He would have probably done Soren next. Queen is
Alright,
tough. She
so
looks really tough.
Soren gets 1 more back.
Well, they're kind of all simultaneous here.
Oh, not forced entry. That doesn't count.
Good God, man, what are you doing?
Man, you're forced entry.
I'm trying to
on-
force myself on the queen. That critically failed.
What?
Yeah,
Bloody
that's a good way to
hell.
get kicked in the nuts.
There you go, Queenie. I got you. What's that? 4 minus 1, an extra 3 hit points.
Okay.
Okay, so based off of rules as written, if you are at 0 or worse, but above -1, make a health roll to awaken every hour. And since we had like an hour and 30 minutes of first aiding, I made the roll.
Why would
Takes
that be an
30
hour and
minutes.
30 minutes?
It takes 30 minutes per attempt.
Not concurrently, though. I mean, you can deal with multiple people at the same time.
I want you to point that to me in the rules as written.
It doesn't say either way.
No, there is a thing about multiple patients for physicians. For
Yeah,
like
that's for
the,
physicians.
For yeah.
What are you doing in this first aid period? You're basically keeping them warm. Why do you have to only work on one for 30 minutes and then work on for another one for 30 minutes? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I suspected it was doing more than that. In this case, it's also, fixing the bandages so they're not quite as crappy, because they're not super great.
Well, I'm not
It
going to
does
argue
say
about it.
it does say he takes extra time to apply a more elaborate dress scene. Treat the victim for shock.
Well,
Blah blah blah.
as it's regardless, it is going to take at least a minimum of 30 minutes, possibly more. What is everyone else doing in that that period of time there?
Groaning.
Eh,
Well, I mean, everybody here right now is either treating people for shock or being treated for shock.
Right. Okay. Near the tail end of the shock treatment, Witch Hunter Apprentice Albrecht is going to stir and regain consciousness, as you can check by my whopping success by 0. Yeah, shock treatment. Gonna look around blearily, little confused, and it's like observe that he is bandaged, and will be very, very pleased. And it's like, well, we must send word to the temple, bring discovery of this to my father. And he says he's sort of generally gesturing in the direction of the oh yeah, did I actually remember? I have to double check. I did not. Way to be dummy. Because we had the lovely temple area.
Mm-hmm.
As he is like, gesturing to the very large summoning circle, for lack of a better term. He's going to glance around to those of us, those that are wounded, and then sort of focus on the 2 that are not, which is Jorg and Christoph. Christoph is not wearing as much heavier armor, and he was like, I need you to run to the temple there, Scout. And he will remove basically like a signet ring and offer that. We must further investigate this thing. Take this to the temple, seek out my father, tell him Nuntius Fidelis.
Christoph is like,
what does that mean?
looks around. He's like, "Who? Me? Scout? What? You know?" And then he looks over at Jorg.
Jorg's like giving you that. Go on, look. I got this.
Kind of mutters and curses under his breath. Grabs the signet ring and says, "What? Fuck this, your mummus?" Like,
Nuntius Fidelis.
Nuntius Fidelis. Right.
Nuntius.
So take this to your dad and tell him Nuntius Fidelis. Got it.
Yes, and tell him to bring priests.
Nuntius Fidelis Nicto. Barada Nick.
How far away am I from the? Where did you say to go to the temple? How far are we? What?
Well, it's going to depend. You're not actually sure. You would have to get above ground. And then once you are above ground, then you could orient yourself. There are going to be multiple, damn it, I'm scrolling through here trying to find a specific map for me. There's going to be several additional, like, I guess you would call them manholes. That's like before. Although, if it's going to be a slightly more difficult climb than it would be if you retrace your steps all the way back to where you guys came in and had that ladder that was hooked in. Conveniently, there's one that's relatively close.
Right. He's like, well, let's get. He's not gonna waste any time if it's what I got to do to get rid of this guy. Then he's gonna go. And Yeah, so he's gonna try to find the nearest place where he can put that ladder and get out.
You don't have the ladder. The ladder is way back where you guys came in. I'm saying, in order to get to the nearby manhole cover, it's going to be a slightly more difficult climb, wherein a failure may end up with you splashing in the muck. I love this idea, by the way. What is Christoph's climb skill? Oh, he's at 13. Oh, that's interesting. What Giger just posted, where Crom said it appears
So
that
that's
box
the
fell
thing.
out of the layout 7 years ago and nobody noticed. I will have to keep that in mind for later. Ooh.
Of course, that was 2011, so 7 years ago was even farther back.
That would have been, that would have made it nearly impossible to get Enfys patched up, and it would have made it impossible to get Kessel patched up.
No, that's for using it on oneself.
I'm looking at the may allow. So okay, so you can't use that is. I don't know. I'm gonna point to Master and Commander where dude did surgery.
Yeah, well, it wasn't easy.
Nope. Right. So, is Christoph planning on just making the climb? He can take a glance at the immediate location and identify that it's probably a -2 climb.
Okay, so -2. What am I at? 13.
I don't know.
So I'm I think he'll try it. I think he's got a good enough chance, and if he falls on his face, he'll just blame Jorg and tell him that he needs
Well,
to find a ladder.
if he falls, he's going to fall into the sewer. Good times. Good times.
Yeah, he'll try.
Yeah,
Okay.
you probably don't want to fail that, though.
You don't want him to be immersed?
He'll definitely take the time to secure all his equipment to himself, his bow, put his bow away, etc. Wrap it up.
Right. So he's taking extra time then.
He is in no hurry.
All right. Well, go ahead and make your
Let's
roll.
Let's roll. Climbing. I rolled a 13, so -2. I don't know how much I get for the extra time.
It depends on how much extra time. I'm probably going to do the same thing in this case that I think Giger would have done, where it's just like he needed to determine how much.
Oh, right.
Yeah, okay, that's probably fine. It takes, there are some very, very close calls, and he's seriously worried for a second, but he is able to manage to get himself out and onto the streets. And hold on, I am trying to put. Okay, so this is the map of the town. I've put Christoph where you're basically emerging, and you are heading way over. Well, actually, you know exactly where the temple was because you shot a guy there. You murderer. Okay. As soon as he is out, the witch hunter is going to speak to, or Albrecht is going to speak to Jorg and say, we probably should not presume those creatures, whatever they were, are alone. We need to find out where we're at as well. And is that a cabinet? That seems to be a cabinet over there. We should break into it and see what's in it. That was addressed to Jorg, by the way.
Sorry, you caught York when York was looking up rules.
Jorg should stop looking up rules.
He should.
He should memorize them.
He will need it repeated, sadly.
Right. Must not presume those creatures are alone. We need to find out where we are in town as well. And that seems to be a cabinet over there on the wall. We should break into it.
We had a pretty good idea where we were, did we not?
Those of you, the two of you, had a relatively decent idea. That would be Jorg and Soren. You were probably, oh damn it, I did that wrong.
So I know we passed the
probably
circle thing.
Outer Ring, yeah.
Outer ring.
Yeah, it's probably over in, I don't remember what that place is called off the top of my head. Tourberg.
Toyaberg. Okay, but so we knew generally where we were headed, I guess.
Yeah, the two of you suspected you had a pretty good idea. Actually, one of you I think failed, but the other critically succeeded. But I can't be bothered to double check that.
Okay, well, Jörg will tell Albrecht that we're pretty sure we're in the Toyaberg district somewhere.
And that is predominantly mercantile.
As
It
to
is
the
beating heart of
chest,
not a chest.
or not the chest, the cabinet. I guess Jörg will. Well, we don't know what's in there. It could be a trap.
Well,
guess we could go over there and see if it's locked.
Yep.
Chicka, chicka, chicka.
He's going to also probably mention as an aside, and it's like, it's rather fortunate that these things were already beginning to melt, and looks like they started melting at their feet. Kept them in position for a time. Very lucky.
Jörg didn't even realize. Or did he? I guess he would know that emphasis. It's like yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. I was just trying to kill them.
Let's see. Hold on. Soren, give me a body language check into the skull, please. Since you're the only one that has it. You will note that when Apprentice Albrecht says this, or Kessel, I guess would probably be Witch Hunter Kessel. When he says this, he is or very clearly not looking at Enfys. So you get a strong feeling that he absolutely 100% knows that Enfys is the guy who threw the glue spell out. But maybe he seems to be giving him an out. Maybe. I mean, Genfis did basically effectively save everybody's lives.
Well, when Søren gets a chance, he'll sort of mosey on over to Enfys and he'll say, I got a gut feeling. He knows it was you. He'll be sort of whispering this.
Have we seen Søren actually do any thieving type stuff? Has he checked for traps or stuff like that?
I seem to remember he has checked for traps a couple times. In fact, I think he did that previously, or in the sewers.
Jörg is going to call back to Søren then and says, hey, you're a little more mechanically minded. You want to have a look at this?
What do you mean by that?
He's like doing the head nod.
As
Over here.
As he sort of walks past Jorg, he says, just what are you suggesting? And he goes over to the cabinet. He will have a look over the cabinet. So that's a perception-based traps. This should be done in the box.
But we don't have a box, so give it to the skull instead.
Yeah, but you can't do a relative skill roll into the box.
Okay. So just roll and tell
so
me
this
what the
would
difference
this
is
would
gonna
be at this would be at +1. So I'll just add a +1 to it.
Yeah, you can do it that way. Is there any way to fix that to where you can do relatives into the hidden?
I don't know how you would do that.
I could do it with, if you hold down Control or Shift while doing it, then it goes into the box. I could do that.
Oh, that could work.
I could do
There
that.
you go.
I could do that normally, so that if you do any roll while holding down Control or Shift, then it'll automatically make it a box roll.
Something we will promptly forget.
Well, I've got the rule set open now, fixing that combat tracker 0 thing. So I'll make a note in my list of things to do. Do I see any traps?
No, but you will definitely realize that this cabinet seems to be of some weird construction. Like when you're just sort of like feeling it, it just sort of feels heavier.
Well, Søren will say, look, this is not your usual cabinet. It feels heavier, whatever that means. I'll describe the feeling appropriately to the group.
Well, just like you're gonna be able to look at the doors. They just and such like that. They're the cabinet doors. So they're like
it's extra
a
solid.
lot thick. Yeah, extra solid. It's like they're a lot thicker than they would normally be.
All right, someone's taken the time to make this cabinet, really solid. I don't think we're breaking into it anytime soon.
I don't know. Does anybody actually have like carpentry? That's an interesting thought. Like somebody breaks out a hammer and goes, "God, I got it!" Ting, 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 ting.
I have combat engineering.
I have lockpicks.
Do you have the lockpicking skill?
Yes.
You could probably get into it then. But that might be kind of suspicious looking. Gonna have to
Well.
distract everybody.
Shall we try the door? Maybe it's not locked.
Well, if there's no traps, Thorin's going to kick the door.
Ow.
He doesn't even remotely expect to get in, but he's just going to kick the door.
And that
yeah.
absolutely confirms your suspicion that this thing is solid. It
Yeah,
does not even move.
this thing is like really solid. I don't
It
know.
does
I
have
don't
a-
know if even Coppertongue could get into this one.
Oh, given time, I'm sure. Well,
It does
stand back.
have
Let me try
an
the door.
actual lock.
What was that about lock?
It does have like an integrated lock. It's not an actual like padlock or anything like that, but it's
Okay.
which is again, it's like, wow, this is some pretty good construction.
What's it made from?
Looks like wood.
What level of law enforcement powers do witch hunters have?
I believe it's classified as legal enforcement. Is it 1? I don't remember. I'd have to double check.
So the same as police.
Effectively, yeah. Well, maybe not. I'd have to remember how that actually works.
Well, the question here is whether or not he's going to be able to and willing to arrest him for thievery if he breaks out with some pigs. And probably to be on the safe side, he probably should not see that.
Well, Soren's going to. He's going to say,
Even be higher than that. Looking at the enforcement, yeah.
My father was a locksmith. And yeah, while I never really took an interest in his trade, I do know some tricks. Does anyone have some wire or something like that?
Oh, I think we could
A
probably scrape
hairpin.
something up around here.
Looking at copper.
Nope, I don't have anything. Got my armor, got my weapons, and personal basics.
Witch Hunter Apprentice Kessel is going to fumble at one of the pouches that he has, because witch hunters, they have to have those big old belts with the pouches, and he is going to basically extract lockpicks and offer them to. He's not going to get up from where he's sitting, because that crap's that'd hurt right now. But he's like, this should you should be able to use these.
He'll grab them and he'll look at the witch hunter and say, "What sort of history do you have?"
A complicated one.
Well, I'm not very good at this. This is going to take some time. But I'll see what I can do. No guarantees.
I had to look. He's got a frickin' 13. He is pretty good at it.
Well, this will take some time. I'm not very good at it. Everyone, sit down, relax. And Cern will start picking the lock, and he's deliberately going to take an inordinate amount of time, and he'll be going, fuck, shit, stupid thing. He'll kick it a few times.
And then regret kicking it. I think Jurg is actually going to go around the room with his lantern and start, looking in the corners and looking at stuff and poking at things.
Okay. So he's searching.
I guess he would be searching.
Wow, I actually needed the extra time.
What about Copper Tongue? What is she doing? Because since Nosh went AFK, clearly Enfys is leaning up against the wall and dozing off.
Yeah, Copper Tongue is just going to actually keep an eye out at the door. She's not really curious, and she doesn't really care about whatever they're doing. So she's going to keep an eye out, make sure that nothing sneaks in.
Is she going to hold the door?
She hold the door. Yes.
Okay. Well, Jorg, you can give me a search check if you so desire. Wondering if that should be in the scope.
Yes, I had to tweak that a bit.
That should probably be. Look at all those skulls. Oh, that's mine. All right, hold on. Okay, so you are poking around trying to figure out find stuff, see if anything stands out. And Soren is putzing with the lock right about the same time that Soren gets the nice little click. He's like, all right. Up here in the, I should probably make sure we're on the proper one again. Does that bring that one back to the front? The sewer one?
Which one?
The sewer temple thing?
Like the tactical map?
Yeah.
Yes. Should Soren be concerned that there's blood around this cabinet?
Maybe. Is it dry?
Isn't that my blood?
There's also some blood over here. Right. So right about the time that Soren's like, okay, you got the nice little click. That Jorg is also going to note that there is something not right. He's feeling like a breeze, a strange, clean breeze coming from that corner. Uh-oh. Well, it looks like you failed a curious check. What's going on with the curious check there, Soren?
Okay, so Soren, here's the clip. And curiosity will get the better of him, and he'll carefully open the door and take a peek inside.
And explode.
Okay. That would have been really funny, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of snakes.
But he'll do it carefully, considering that he's standing in a pool of dried blood.
True.
The last
Think he
person to
treated
open
well.
this door, it obviously didn't end well for them.
Okay, so inside the thing, which that would have been a good thing to have actually up, dummy. So inside the cabinet is I have to find exactly what it states. Okay. So you are going to see several things that are potentially interesting. Um, the first thing you will note is there seems to be like a silver tray inside on one of the shelves that has a very bloody, but it's kind of dry now, a knife, and there's also a scroll case next to it, and just below that, on the shelf below that, is a small. I want to say. I'm trying to figure out exactly how or what he would think of that. It's not fist size. It's maybe thumb sized piece of green crystal that is like sort of glowing. I also need you to make a health check, by the way. Wow.
Awesome.
Okay.
Did
Critical
I
success.
magically
by-
get cured of all disease and healed?
No.
Damn it.
If you had failed, you could have grown a tail, though.
Is it a tail that I could use?
Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, that's what you see. The silver tray, a knife that looks kind of bloody, a scroll case, and a sort of semi-glowing chunk of rock. Uh-oh.
All
Uh-oh.
right. There's enough interesting stuff in here that Søren is compelled to lift some stuff.
How
Is it-
widely known is what that most likely is?
Is it kryptonite?
It totally looks like kryptonite. I was actually trying to find a decent picture of kryptonite that would work.
Okay, so
In regards to your question, Giger, to Soren, it's not going to be known at all. He's not going to have any of the appropriate skills to remotely recognize what that might be.
So not widely known then.
Nope, actively suppressed.
Ah,
how glowy is glowy? If he puts it in his pocket, is his pocket going to be shining?
No, probably not.
All right, so while no one's looking, Søren will lift the valuable-looking stuff, or the at least interesting-looking stuff.
well, I don't think you can hide the silver tray under your coat.
Yeah, it's probably not interesting enough for him compared to the other stuff.
If it's silver, that's a lot of silver.
Yep, silver tray, a knife, scroll case, and we're going to call it a pocket full of kryptonite, I guess. I'm certain that won't come back and bite him in the butt. Although it
Or
might.
get that song stuck in your head.
Nah.
All right, so I'll be doing. Where is the roll? that one.
Right. So you stick the glowy crystal in your pocket, and I guess let everybody else know about the other stuff.
Yeah. The scroll tube, does it look like
Oh,
it's
right.
arcane
Filch.
sort of stuff? Filch is contested if anyone's
Yeah.
particularly looking.
Yeah, that was what I was double checking, because it's like, yeah.
Versus perception. But of course, Soren's going to be standing in the way, so you know, people would have to look through his back.
Queen's not paying any attention. She's focused on the outside of the door.
How many hit points does Kessel have?
None right now.
Okay, well, I would think that Kessel would be in such pain.
Yeah, that's what I was scrolling through the filch thing to see if there is oh no it says if someone is actively watching the item you wish to snatch, you must win a quick contest versus vision. Roll against skill to ship off say yeah, so nope, it's all good. It just looks like a scroll tube to you. I mean,
So there's no like arcane symbols or anything like that on it?
no.
Alright, I'll do this again. So he will step aside. He'll actually grab the scroll tube. So there's left in left in here is the scroll tube and the silverware.
Yeah, so the tray, and not tray, what the hell did I call it? Brain. Yeah, silver tray, the knife, and the scroll. Okay. So Kessel was like, well, let's see what that is. Maybe it's a letter. Although, considering what we're looking at here, that seems unlikely.
Well, then Soren will open the scroll tube and see what's inside.
Let's see. So, you have absolutely no idea what this is. It looks just like some strange chicken scratch. Damn, that's a awesome check.
I am wasting criticals. So if he calls out that there's silver in the cabinet, Queen will just kind of wave wave her hand and and keep watching. Not even phased.
Actually, I should double check, make sure Soren. Yep, Soren has no idea what this is. It's either a code or a spell or somebody's retarded cousin was just scribbling stuff on it.
Alright, so Soren will say, look, I can't read this. Maybe someone else here can. He'll hand it to whoever is interested. Then he'll say, but, this silverware here, it's probably valuable. Does anyone mind if I take it?
It's evidence, says Kessel.
Evidence of what? It's just silver.
Is that a knife on it? Look, there's a summoning circle here. Something was clearly sacrificed.
Right, okay, so you can have the knife, but What about the silverware? It's just silver.
He's going to glance over the scroll and clearly has no idea what it says, and he's going to look at Enfys and has that moment of hesitation, but then he's going to says, "Can you identify what this language is?"
And under Soren's breath, so that no one can really hear him, he'll say, "Well, I'll take your silence as being it's an okay." And he'll start, putting the silverware into his pack. Trying to do it discreetly while people are looking elsewhere.
Well, Emphas has 2 hit points, meaning he's reeling from his wounds still. So he's in no mood to do anything with anyone. He's just lying there in pain.
Well, I figured you guys are like sitting there against the wall. Kessel's not doing much more than that himself.
I mean, if I was down in real life to 2 hit points, I can tell you I wouldn't care what's going around me. I'm just like focused on the pain, searing pain in my stomach.
Okay. Jorg, what are you doing? You said, because there's something wrong in that area over there.
Right.
It
so,
sounds wrong. You can feel some strange wind coming from various cracks.
I suppose Soren might have observed that York was like putting his ear to the rock and knocking on it weirdly, like there's something back there. And then he'll look over there and sort of point at it and go, eh?
I have no idea
But
what that means.
Soren might actually be, I don't know, absorbed at the moment. Not literally, I hope.
No, that comes later. Are you calling that out to anyone else?
Yeah, everybody's sort of non-ambulatory at the moment, so I'll probably just point that out to. I'll say something about it. Whether or not anybody else responds, I guess, is on them.
I don't know. No, there's only 2 that are non-ambulatory. Soren
Three?
is still in the is in the green, and Copper Tongue is in the green now.
Was Copper running around the room?
No,
Poking at
she's like
things?
over there. She's over there at the door, basically making
Oh,
sure
right.
there are no more rodents of unusual size.
She was holding the
Yep.
door. Well, she might have
Yep.
noticed that too. Say, hey, I think there's something back here.
You just have
So
to say it loudly enough so Soren's curiosity triggers.
Uh-huh.
yeah, so Queen wound up with a quirk level of stayed, so she really, what she's currently working on is
Right.
making sure that we don't die. So she's, unless you tell her to come over there, she's going to stay put.
All right. Well, Yer will keep poking at it until it opens or until somebody comes over to take over.
Let me look at his skills to see if he has anything that would allow him to find secret stuff like that.
Probably not. Except unless you really squint on a combat engineer, and he's not really good at it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not with no. Combat engineer is just something else.
Specifically, I think that's the mining and
Yep.
siege weapons.
Yep. Okay. Right. All right. So, dang it. Yep. I was gonna jump to him, but he is rushed off.
Hey, I guess since you happen to be talking about him behind his back, did he have intolerance to witch hunters?
I don't think so. No, but based off of he's got that secret possible death hedge wizard, so that
Okay.
basically stands in for intolerance of witch hunters.
Well, intolerance is an automatic -1 when dealing with, for example, witch hunters in this case, because you can't help yourself but look like you hate them. What I was kind of wondering is whether or not Christoph was actually trying to hide the fact that he could not give a damn whether Albrecht lived or died, and what it would take for York to spot that. And so I was considering
I
like a
think it was
perception-based leadership maybe or something like that.
I'm not even sure a check would even be necessary there.
Maybe not. Like I said, if he's not trying to hide it, then there's
Yeah, he
reason
wasn't
wouldn't spot it.
He wasn't really trying to hide it.
Well, but he did say he was doing a half-ass attempt at first aid. I don't know if he's actually trying, if he cared whether or not I noticed the fact that he was definitely not really trying to help him. Because right now, Jörg does not know that there's a problem.
Yeah, okay. I can see what you mean. Maybe you just need to talk to him afterwards, presuming he
Maybe.
actually comes back from the temple and doesn't burst into flames.
Ooh, actually, now that I say that, on a meta note, I remember that Enfys and Soren actually do know that there's a problem
Yes,
and have not informed Jörg of this problem.
this is true.
For good reason.
And they've definitely not informed Coppertongue because, well,
Too many
she's
goody
like-
two-shoes in this group.
FX, was Christoph actually trying to hide the fact that he was deliberately not helping Albrecht?
Excuse me. Not really. He was.
Like he did
I
not
think-
care if anybody knew that he basically wanted him to die.
No, no. I mean, amongst the party, I think Albrecht was unconscious, right? That's what I was assuming the whole time.
right. Yeah, he was unconscious at the time.
So so between, his quote unquote friends, he wasn't hiding the fact that he didn't like the witch hunter. He didn't want to argue with Jorg about, well, so he's got a history with witch hunters. That's why he dislikes them.
Yeah.
And doesn't trust them. So that's why I was trying to role play that part. But he didn't want to argue with Jorg in terms of, you told him to go heal him. He said no. You said go do it, and he's like fine, and he just wasn't going to argue about it. And that's why he did what he did.
So that's why I was just asking if you had intolerance to witch hunters, which you don't. Intolerance is an automatic. It's automatically visible. You can't help yourself.
No intolerance. He's got bad temper.
Scowl at them.
He has a bad
in this
temper
case-
and then several quirks related to that. He's not a murderer in spite of having murdered somebody, but he doesn't look at it that way.
Make you one?
He does not look at it as murder what he did. Anyways,
Well,
he's justifying that to himself. But yeah, so he
ultimately,
would
the
if he
issue
would,
here
he would
is
have just like stabbed the witch hunter while he was asleep, and just
Well,
got it
that's
over
true.
with. So
the issue here is Jörg does not know that there's a problem here. He doesn't know that Christoph has a
What?
problem with witch hunters. So this is his first exposure to the fact that something
Oh.
might exist here. Because Christoph told Soren and Enfys, but they did not inform Jörg.
yeah, so
Well,
you would know that
technically,
he
you could make
you
you
don't
could make the argument that they found out because he didn't like come out and tell anybody.
Well,
you
but
would
they sat
definitely
him
know he
down
doesn't
and they
like
had the
Albrecht.
discussion and he admitted to it.
You would definitely know he didn't like Albrecht, and then maybe based on conversations and comments, throughout the time you've known him, you may deduce that he doesn't like
Yeah,
witch
okay.
hunters in general.
So just short of a full-on intolerance dissad. Okay, that's fair.
Doing exactly what I told it not to do.
Yes, the GM was about to switch over to Christoph, and
No, I was trying to
Christoph's
figure out why
player was gone.
this stupid. No,
I kept thinking he was going to switch to me like any moment. So I didn't go AFK. And then finally I'm like, okay, I got to go AFK. And then, of course, I'm sure that's when he wanted to switch.
You know how that works.
Mm-hmm.
that's it. Chloe Green Nugget. Even though it's totally spoiled that it's warpstone. Which is totally bad that he has that in his pocket. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. So, Christoph, you will get to the temple. This is roughly what the temple looks like. It's not quite this grand, because this is technically from Altdorf, the big temple. There are obviously not as since it's kind of getting late. There are a lot fewer people present, and he's probably I don't want to say probably, possibly like feeling a tiny little bit of deja vu coming back to see this place, just at night.
I think he's definitely having second thoughts, like, what the frick did I get myself into here? He's like, oh my God. It's like, I'm not going to go in there. I'm never going to make it back out if I do. He's just like second guessing himself right now.
Yep, exactly. There are a large number of, soldiery types wearing Sigmarian heraldry. You will see a pretty decent sized number of witch hunters coming in and out. One of the guards, I guess you would say, they don't normally have guards at the temple, but there are currently guards, is like going to stop you and demand to know what your business is this late at night.
Oh man. Just as I was about to like turn away and like hide forever, the guard stops me. Okay.
Damn guards.
He's like, he hands out the ring. He's like, hey, I don't know what the proper form of address for Albrecht is, but Mage Albrecht or whatever. Mage Hunter Albrecht.
Witch hunter.
Sending Witch Hunter Albrecht said.
Templar is also accurate, I think.
Yeah, he's like Templar Albrecht. He kind of blurts it all out. He's like, I was on a mission with Templar Albrecht. He said, give this to his dad. And mention what I forgot his name. Doom's hunter.
The
He's like,
guard
yeah.
will.
He said to give this to his dad, and he needs to come right away. That's all I know. And I try to like walk away.
You didn't tell him where to go. He's like, you'll stay here, and he's going to hand the ring off to another guy who's going to go into the temple proper. I mean, on the bright side, you guys probably are still wearing the thing,
The insignia, the brooch,
Yeah.
tabard.
the
I think
tabard.
it's a tabard.
City Watch thing.
That was the thing I was looking for. There. So you,
Bögenhafen.
yeah, yep. So you have to wait there for a couple of minutes. And it's like, you know, the time is sort of creeping by. You're likely feeling a little uncomfortable as this guard's just standing there staring at you. Well, not really staring at you, but keeping an eye on you. And the fellow that you recognize from before will come, you know, out of the temple. He is still decked out in his full gear, you know, and such like that. Although you will note that his hands do look a little bloody right now. Like, you scout. Did you say my son sent word here? What word did he send?
Oh man, I didn't write down.
Latu Varada Nick.
He said, "Focus your motherless," something like that. Yeah, I don't. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't say that. Um, can I assume he remembers because I forget the words and I didn't write them down. Um, infinitus something.
What's your character's IQ?
11.
Yeah, I think everybody's
11?
above average.
So he'll like try to repeat the words back that he said to him. And
Well, it hasn't been that long for you, you know, and if it's anything like me, it's like if I'm told to remember something, in that case, it's like I'm probably repeating it the whole time I'm going there. So it was Nuntius Fidelis.
Nuntius Fidelis, and he said, bring help right away. Bring the guards right away.
Priests.
Priest. Sorry.
He will take a long moment to study you, and you've got that whole. He's got the look down pat. That's it's an effective, scary look. And then he will turn and address one of the guards, and he's like, you know, I need them now. Bring them here. Bring my retinue. And it's like that same guard that you were there, and the guy's like gives him a quick salute, and then turns and sprints as fast as you can in armor into the temple. And then the witch hunter will turn back to you and will demand rather imperiously, I guess you would say, is like, why are priests needed?
This guy is super dumb.
Are the priests like the healing type priests, or does how the frick am I
Might he
supposed to
know?
know? He just told me to bring them.
You
He
you
just
knew there was a sounding circle down there. You know what that is.
Oh, right, the summoning circle. Um, so I mean, I'll tell him what I know, what Christoph knows. I know you guys
He-
talked about it after he left.
Yeah, well, he's going to, look, not happy at all. And then glances at the bowl, and he's got that kind of impatient look, like hurry up. And a squad-sized, I guess, group of soldiers and priests come clattering out, and he's like, good, as he takes his gear from one of them. It's like a brace of pistols, a sword, stuff like that, and he's like, very well, lead on.
I'm like, all right. He shrugs and starts trotting off in the direction of the sewer.
You know, you got a whole squad of witch hunters right behind you.
I know. Oh my god. This is like his dream.
Well,
It's what he
that's
always
a
wanted.
dream. That's a dream.
Only if you
Um,
could dive off a cliff and they would follow you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
He
on the
blamed
bright
the
side,
org.
he's probably cussing the org out in his head, and he's like, I'm gonna drown him in the sewer. Leave his body back here. Lead you quiet. Leave you here. Well, on the bright side, even though it's still the first day of Schadenfest and there's a crap ton of people, they're kind of getting out of your way because they see who's like right behind you.
Yeah, I guess this could help legitimize me if they see that they're working with me. Okay, yeah, so he's gonna trot back to the sewer right where he came out and be like, oh yeah, hope you brought a rope. Or I guess I could take him back to the original point where the ladder is that the L?
No, the
On the
L was where just thinking that through, I should have probably, the L was where the lawyer's office was, where you guys
Oh.
went there, and then a bunch of people got, shredded. The original spot was way over here.
Oh.
So it's probably better to go to roughly where you were at. He will turn, the witch hunter will turn to his people, and at least one of them is going to open up pull some stuff out of the bag, and they are very clearly prepared for climbing around and doing all that jazz.
Okay.
They will secure that, so you can climb down. I'm not going to necessarily make you make the climb check. You are definitely going to see at least a couple of the guards just get hammered in the face by the stench, and they clearly failed that health check, and were like, "Oh God, I'm so nauseous right now." And you can lead everybody back, or lead them back to the summoning circle, the underground shrine or temple or something like that. Immediately upon entry, the senior witch hunter, looks at his son, and he's like, really, really, he like surprised, irritated, and he like gestures. And a couple of the priests will go over there and start doing magic-y stuff to do healing. By this point, the younger Kessel has sort of like possibly dozed off with or maybe passed out, I guess would be more accurate, due to the pain. I'm going to kind of presume that Infus is like kind of like that as well. The senior witch hunter is going to zero in on Jorg and basically demand a report. Like, what happened here?
York will present himself and salute and give report.
No, if you're going to do it proper, you need to do a savoir-faire military then.
Well, I don't know if that's appropriate for these guys. But I'll totally do it. And do it well.
By 6. Not bad at all. So at least you don't completely fool yourself or screw up. He will listen while while you're talking. He's like sort of like circling the big old summoning circle. Studying it, doing some frowning, lots of frowning actually.
Kind
Although
of used to
maybe
seeing that.
maybe the face is locked like that, sort of like proper Judge Dredd.
Are these priests going to come over and attend to Enfys at all?
Well, first they are going to do some casting on on Albrecht. Both of them are going to cast. It ends up being 4 times. It's like because I discovered something. Minor heal and major can actually be used on the same person at the same day. Without taking that penalty, because if you recall, if you cast a healing spell on someone and then you try to cast it again, you take a -3, and then if you try to cast it again on them, you take a -6, and so on and so forth. But that doesn't happen with minor and major. So they will attend. I was surprised. I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." They will attend to Kessel. He will, our junior Kessel. He's going to be much pleased by no longer being injured, and then he's going to gesture for one of them to approach Enfys, and this priest will come over and will cast a. I think it's probably just a single spell at this point. Let me double check. Unless you tell them no.
Oh, good heavens. Enfys is saying yes, yes.
Yes. All right. So, I'm not even going to bother with that. So, he will. The guy will come over and go mumble wave, and you are fully healed.
Excellent. Thank
He,
you, my good priest.
guy was like, he's gonna
Does that include the infection?
No, he is still infected because they don't know about that.
So he's not fully healed.
Yeah, well, he's fully healed. Oh yeah, right. 1 point down because of that. He will. The other one will go to Soren and offer to do the same.
Soren will shrug and say, "This won't hurt, will it?"
Why would it hurt? It's healing.
The old days.
That's an interesting point. No. It just, I'm thinking this guy's going to cast a spell on Soren, and Soren has a nugget of warp stone in his pocket.
Yeah, you're going to grow a horn in the middle of your forehead.
Nah, his hip should.
I don't mind if my horn grows.
Yeah, that's it. You're going to have a tumor that grows right on your hip where that pocket is, and it's going to start talking to you.
Soren, give me a health check at -2, please.
So succeed by 1.
Very, very lucky. And then the one that originally healed Enfys will also approach Copper Tongue and offer to try to heal her. However, he is going to, mention that dwarfs are naturally resistant to the magic, so this may not work.
You trying to do some magic on me? No. No. Keep your mitts to yourself, boy.
Very good. Very good.
Oh, that reminds me. After they walk away, Cern will sort of mutter under his breath, "Fucking hypocrites."
No, these aren't. This isn't magic. It's a miracle from Sigmar himself. No, it's going to be one of those where it's like, if he did, Copper Tongue was going to have to actually make a resistance check because of that magic resistance, which really, really sucks. It's like, so that means he has to, because you've got a +6 naturally. You'll be fine.
I'm good.
All right. So does Jorg also mention the door, or not door, but the weirdness with the wall?
Yeah. I guess as things start to settle, like, I think there's something back here. That stone feels weird.
The witch hunter will nod and gesture for a couple of his guys to go over there, and they're like doing the same sort of thing that you were doing, like tap tap tap, tink tink, tap tap. Okay, yeah, that does kind of sound a little weird. And after a few moments, one of them will speak up and say, "Yes, I believe there is a passage or a doorway here, but we can't quite seem to get figure out the latch. It may be triggered from the other side." At which point, the senior the senior dude will or senior witch hunter will frown and consider it, and then say, break it down then." Right. And you will absolutely see both of the priests are going to heft up these big ass hammers. They're
They're better
Warhammer
equipped for
hammers.
this.
They're Warhammer hammers, where it's like, what is that? Why would what? Huh? And they go over there and they start pounding away at that area. And in a few moments, you will absolutely hear something like on the other side starting to give and maybe break. And finally, did that actually do? Damn it. Then finally, the thing on the map, does that show?
I see nothing.
Nothing? Really?
Nope. Although I can apparently move around.
Oh, right. I know. You have no lighting.
Oh, right, because I put it down.
Ronki, you'll need to move the images on the stream because they are the two witch hunters. They're blocking what you're potentially seeing.
You mean the
Oh,
passageway?
right. Yes. Wow, he's not seeing anything either. What the heck?
I can see a passage. I can see stairs.
Yeah, I put the lamp on Yurk, and he's fine.
Yes. Regardless, okay, so there is a passageway that leads into, curls around and leads up to some, or leads to some stairs that ascend. The senior witch hunter, muses, was like, well, isn't that interesting? Let us see where this goes.
You lead, good sir.
And he will send several of his guards, forward. He will definitely follow them. The PCs are not required to follow.
Soren's curious. He wants to have a look.
So is Emphas.
But
Although
Well, I
he's
guess,
quite prepared for them to lead the way and get killed first.
that's how
Well,
Emphas is seeing it.
to be fair, anybody that's up there is probably alerted after the dudes took some time to beat the wall down.
True.
The stairs ascend up, not very much, but they're very, very steep as well. And they come to another door that can actually be easily opened on from this side, which opens up into an office. There is a great deal of noise, and you hear initially some clash of arms. The witch hunters, shout, or not the witch hunters, but the guards are shouting for them, throw down their weapons. There was, yeah, I just saw Mel's comment. Jokes on them. That was a load-bearing wall. That'd have been joke on all of you, as like the building above just like collapses on, buries everyone.
They said throw down your weapons and prepare to be judged.
Probably not quite like that. Luckily, I don't need to actually do this because, well, shenanigans and hygiene. Let's see if this is going. I got to turn something on. Make sure it's actually turned on. No, wait, I want to turn it off because otherwise it's spent a lot of time. So by the time the PCs enter up there, the situation is mostly under control. But it is very clearly an office, which the locals, two of the locals are the two locals are going to recognize as having belongs to one of the four big merchant houses. And this is Steinhager. The two, which would be Jorg and Soren, are also going to recognize at least one of the people that has been sort of like taken into custody as Heinrich Steinhager, who is not the guy in charge, or not the head of the family, but the Franz Steinhager's younger brother. He and several, well, basically bodyguards, or guards, are like, they've surrendered once a bunch of witch hunters came up out of the mess, and they clearly have that, like, trying to find out, it's like, well, what's going on, hello. The senior witch hunter comes up and walks straight up to Heinrich, and he's like, gives him the fearsome stare, and he demands to know. He's like, "Is this secret below the reason you had one of my brothers killed?" Heinrich sounds like, "What? What? No, I don't know what you're talking about." To which the witch hunter, looked around, and yeah, he's like, to his guards, he's like, "Arrest every one of them."
Shame on you guys.
The guards are going to, well, seize all the clerks, all of the people here. You will absolutely learn, in the course of this, from, well, some of the less loyal Steinhager guards that, hey, they were just, they're just doing their job. They're fine. And although it is kind of weird that Franz, the guy in charge of House Steinhager, he lit out of here, you know, like he was on, something was on fire. Yeah, it was totally him. You should go after him. Well, you successfully managed to rein in your urge to
There's
pick some
lots.
stuff.
I'm sure there's like valuable stuff around here, and Søren's just looking and go, nah.
Yeah, you're like,
Bit too risky.
Ooh, that's really tempting. And then it's like, then you notice the two witch hunter guys are like in conversation. You're like, yeah, it's probably not a good idea to do it around them.
I might come back later.
Maybe. The witch hunter, the junior witch hunter, is going to approach the group, and he will, like, once again, mostly address Jorg. He's like, you may report back to your magistrate. We will take this in hand. He should expect to hear from us with regards to these merchants.
I will inform them the witch hunters have the scene.
Yes, it would appear that this town has some chaos issues.
Blech.
And then he will give you a nod of dismissal.
I will snap my heels and bugger off.
Yeah, Søren doesn't waste time to get out of these guys' presence.
Well, I halfway suspect Kristoff and Enfys are like already outside. We're totally not just smoking out here. Pay no attention to us.
All right, well, let's go report in and call it a day.
Curious, did FX actually catch what the witch hunter may have just implied about his theory?
Probably not.
Right. So, yeah, that's likely my fault.
Well, if they were
When-
outside smoking, when they come out and we're
That's
walking away, Søren's gonna say, he's gonna, out of earshot of Copper and Jorg, he's gonna say to Kristoff, "You might be off the hook."
Yep, that
Why
is
is that? What makes you say that?
Søren will laugh. and he'll say, "They think those guys did it."
Well, that's amusing, I guess. Serves them right. Maybe they'll hang.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
there'll
you
be
still
no
got
there'll be no hangings. There will be burnings.
yeah, but you still got that ring.
Oh, shit.
Well, he's gonna be like, "What ring? Like I got rid of that," and then like he
Oh
pulls
crap!
out, puts it in his hand in his pocket, and I'm sure it comes out again
What are you talking about? You're wearing gloves. It's totally on your finger.
on my finger. What?
Yeah, you didn't put that there. How did that get there?
Christ. Sigmar. Christos Sigmar. Whatever.
Yeah. Hey,
Whatever they
yeah,
say.
it's totally not precious to you.
He
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
If it's on my finger though, it's underneath my gloves, right?
Yep.
He starts sweating again. It's like, oh my God, Enfys, what am I gonna do? Can't get rid of this damn cursed thing.
Okay.
What if we
Quick
cut your
question.
finger off?
Go ahead.
So we went down there to chase a greenskin, right?
Zip it.
And we didn't find a greenskin.
Nope.
Well,
Its
no.
trail went into that area, but you did not find it. Nope.
All right, so Queen's gonna look at Jurgen and say, "So going back down, right? It's greenskin that needs killing."
Nope. Nope.
Oh, God, you're right.
Well, you two go down.
Really?
I feel like I need a pub crawl. You guys go crawl after that thing.
So I'm going to put a point into my campaign derailment skill for next time.
Søren's gonna say, "I can still taste the air down there." Seriously, you want to go back down? It probably got killed by those things.
You didn't see a
Well,
body.
so how
There's
how
blood.
certain are we that was the trail of the three-legged goblin that went into that room?
Christoph was pretty certain of the trail leading in there, and he is a pretty good. He is a pretty good tracker.
For what it's worth, Søren's going to attempt to fast talk and convince them that, it got killed or something like that. But he's not believable at all. It's
Queen's got
it's totally
intelligence.
be a story.
What we tried to do.
Okay, so to be fair, in this particular case, you trail or the track went to that particular I'm going to call it a shrine for lack of a better term. You are probably not going to be able to poke around in that area immediately because the witch hunters are,
Mhm.
they're like, taping off the area, so to speak.
Oh, that
Okay.
place. Well, we can go back there and check it out later.
As much as I hate greenskins and hate leaving one just wandering around the city potentially, I'm going off duty and I'm getting all the beer. And I mean all of it.
Your family's probably in town too.
I need beer first.
You know,
Ooh, what if Mom made a beer brew?
since the tracks went into that place, we probably should go and look for that greenskin. Just in case the witch hunters miss it. Once they're done and they leave, we should go check it out. It is our sworn duty to protect this town.
Uh-huh. Yeah, let's see if the witch hunters report anything. Maybe we'll go back down later.
No, not down to that place.
Oh, you mean to the office?
He wants to go loot it.
That's where the tracks went, right?
To the shrine underneath the office, yes.
Well, I have my doubts the goblin actually bashed his way through that door.
Well, he probably didn't need to bash his way through. He probably knew how to get in there. So he's probably in the offices somewhere.
Yeah, well, if he's in the offices, I doubt he's going to hide for long. This place is crawling with witch hunters.
Right, so as soon as they leave, we should go check it out, right? Just to be sure.
I mean, I hate to leave a job undone.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, with regards
You're being
to
awfully agreeable.
with regards to the goblin entering, as you stated, it didn't bash it down. No, you couldn't tell it because remember the door was bashed down by the suspiciously rat-like beastmen, but the door did have like a grate, like where you could look out and such like that.
Right.
So it probably so meta knowledge there. The goblin, which we have clearly seen, was able to wiggle into really cramped locations. Clearly, when it got in that way, and then unfortunately for it, something happened, and then some suspiciously rat-like beastmen showed up and bashed in a door, and shenanigans and hijinks ensued.
And tomfoolery.
It might be tomfoolery, yeah.
Drinks,
Well, if not,
baths and drinks.
yeah, if
So
nothing else, you could at least you probably will need to report to or at least let the magistrate
Also
know,
that.
like tomorrow, to go, hey, by the way, we haven't yet found the green skin.
I need a
We think it
reporting
may have
drink.
been eaten. Go ahead, Mel.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, as the group like breaks apart and starts wandering off, it's just Queen's like arms out, like, come on. Fine.
Yeah, Enfys is totally going to find a pub and a big flagon of wine.
When we're all drinking and we've settled a little bit, Søren's going to say to Enfys and Christoph, come join me in this booth. And he'll pull out his little pouch. He'll open it up, and he'll show Enfys and Christoph the little gem. And he'll say,
Outstanding. So I need Enfys and Christoph to give me a health check, please.
and he'll say, I found this. Do you know what it is?
Oh, that's so pretty.
Christoph
Almost
and
precious.
Enfys, health check, please.
I failed by 2.
All right. I need both of you to roll 1d into the skull, please.
Oh man,
Hee.
what's going on here? Does my magical perception go off
No, but your
when I
third
see the
eye
gem?
itches.
Absolutely, both of Christoph and Enfys are aware this is magic. Enfys might freak out just a little bit. That is a piece of frickin' warpstone. Warpstone is very, very bad. Let me get the official thing of how they describe how
Is
that
it
works.
common knowledge what warpstone is?
It is not. Everybody may have heard of it, but not very many people actually know what the hell it does. Warpstone is it is actually like and Infus is going to know this because he's actually got proper wizardly book learning. It is actually a solidified form of pure chaos. Handling it is a terrible idea.
And
showing it to your friends is a terrible idea.
could explain more about the chaos, etc., etc.
Chaos is technically the true source of all of the winds of magic, but it is how do you officially define chaos? This is one of those that I realize. It is the chaos is the term used by mortals to describe the malign spiritual force of supernatural disorder. It is a potent force composed of pure magic. In fact, chaos is magic. That can unleash physical mutation and spiritual corruption upon sentient beings.
Okay, so I will get the very serious look on my face. My body, I will sort of push myself back away from it, and then I will explain to Soren the danger of the item itself, and say to him, you wondered if you would ever, catch whatever was happening to that beggar in the alleyway. Well, buddy, this is the sort of thing you should be concerned about.
Soren's gonna nod as he's saying this, and then he's gonna say, "Right, but is it valuable?"
And
Yes,
I'm going to
raw
move.
plutonium is valuable.
I'm going to move even further back away from the device or the item, and say, well, okay, GM, what do I know? Does it have value?
Yes, to the right people. Unfortunately, the people that want it are all the wrong people. One of the things that the proper wizards are taught, which emphasis is you can use warpstone to greatly enhance your magic. As a result, some spellcasters would want it. However, when you do that, you are almost inevitably going to be like channeling or sucking in corruption, like it's radiation.
All right, so I will relay this to Soren and say, yeah, you could probably sell it to someone who shouldn't possess it, but the point is, I would consider this to be worse to have in your possession than Christoph having that accursed ring.
There it is.
All right.
The possession of warpstone in the Empire is forbidden.
So what you're saying is I should get rid of it.
Yes, I think you should get rid of it. And I look around the bar, and I would suggest we plant it in those offices.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yep. So possession of warpstone in the Empire is forbidden. While the law itself dates back centuries, it was rarely enforced until one of the emperors named Magnus the Pious came in there, and under him, the punishment for possession of or trafficking in warpstone was raised to the death penalty. It is one of the substances responsible for the creation of mutants. So traffickers of it are very, very, very favorite or are targeted by witch hunters.
So, do I know what would happen if we placed the accursed ring? If we slipped this stone, the accursed ring around it?
No idea.
That's
You
even
might
better.
explode. You might
That's even better.
explode. He might explode.
That's even better.
Don't cross the
Um,
streams, man.
So I say, I think that we should plant this thing back in those offices. And he looks at Christoph. I have no idea if this is going to work because, you might just blow up. But if you want to get rid of that ring, we might try and slide it on there. But I have no idea how it's going to work. It might just fail. You might, I don't know. I have no idea.
It may make the ring worse.
Or it could make it, I don't know, seal onto the damn thing.
Christoph's like, at this point, he's agreeable to anything that even has the slightest remote chance of working.
Søren has a morbid curiosity in this case, thinking to himself, his inner monologue. He kind of wants to find out what will happen if we do this with Christoph, but Søren's obviously going to do it from a distance.
Oh no, you have to stay right there.
No, Søren doesn't. He'll say, all right, when you do this, just hang on a sec. I'm going to step back over here. And if we had phones, he'd totally be videoing it for YouTube.
Yeah. And Enfys will hold off on saying, hey, we should go do it right now.
So noted. Yep.
Well, when those witch hunters are done with this place, then we should plant this warpstone there.
No,
Or
maybe
maybe we should do it now.
Just for,
totally do it now.
Yeah. I think we should go make sure the coast is clear, plant that in there. Christoph, Soren and I will remove ourselves. You do what you want to do with the ring. We'll just make sure we're out of the way. I mean, look at it this way. If you blow up, you never have to worry about the curse ever again.
Oh my god. Actually, Christoph is on board with that. He's like, I don't want you guys to get hurt. Better that I take the risk, anyways.
And we don't want to get hurt either, right, Soren?
Yeah, we're totally cool with that.
Because I'm the one that's stuck with the ring.
We're totally cool with that. We're not cool with the you blowing up bit, but
we aren't. I mean, we aren't.
Or are we? We aren't. Yeah, no, we aren't.
No, we aren't.
And Søren will punch him in the arm and say, just relax. It'll be fine.
I have another idea. Hey, you slip the ring on the thing, but you already have the thing attached to an arrow, and you shoot the arrow like towards a witch hunter from a distance.
I was actually thinking of that.
In the vitals, and you kill another one.
Yeah. I mean, what? I've had too much wine.
Once you start down the dark path, forever will it guide your destiny.
Consume you it will.
So the warpstone, how big is that?
Nugget sized.
Like a little nugget? Okay.
You might want to...
I mean, we could do some reverse pickpocketing.
You might want to kick yourself from the game so that your avatar isn't blank.
Okay.
Rigil Kent.
Yeah. Well, I already logged out.
Yeah, so you logged out.
I
But
don't-
if
I
you
don't see
right
it.
click,
I don't see it up there on mine. And, I was thinking it was not doing that.
Actually, I think there's a setting in the settings
oh, that's
for
right.
which ones
Yes,
to show.
Where's this setting?
It's in the settings, the main settings.
What is the thing that I'm looking for?
uh,
What was it?
Oh, hey, there's token, party vision, and movement. Desktop show PCs,
that would be it.
active only. I set that. Did that make that one mine go away?
No,
No.
I wonder if I have to restart it or something.
probably. We'll leave it for now.
Yeah, hold on. I can also potentially cheat, and if it'll let me, back up and then kick him. Kick myself.
Oh. Yes, that's cheating.
Right. So it sounds like you guys are planning on doing something irresponsible.
Of course we are.
Okay. So when are you actually planning on doing this?
Probably late at night when we've had a few drinks and feel 10 foot tall and bulletproof.
So if I hit kick and confirm, did that make the thing go away?
No.
Well, that's sad. Oh, well.
Yeah,
But it
maybe.
wasn't there until you signed on.
Yeah.
Ah,
so
this is true.
Interesting.
Unless you already signed in before we all joined and we just didn't
I had
notice it.
not. I had not. No. I remember I mentioned, oh crap, I got to do this. Okay, so sounds like Jorg is having drinks. Sounds like Copper Tongue is having drinks. It sounds like the other three are plotting.
Okay, well, we did need to go report in if we hadn't established that already.
Okay.
So grab a quick road beer, go report in, off duty, go back and drink some more. And as for the report, we'll tell them that currently the witch hunters have the scene, and we did not recover the goblin, but we'll go back later and check with the witch hunters to see if they have recovered any remains, and if not, we will go back down and attempt to find it again.
Okay, so you will first go to probably the Schaffenfest and head towards the
Right,
magistrate.
that came from the magistrate.
Yeah, the festival court. It is since it's really dark. There's nobody there. Needless to say, there the fest itself has it's dead. It's down. It's done for today. It'll pick up again for the next day tomorrow, and so then you'll probably go to the barracks. Try to report in there, maybe.
Yeah, if if there's no standard way to get in contact with the magistrate, then I'll at least contact command here.
Okay, so the senior watch sergeant on charge or in charge for the night is going to be Sergeant Elsie. Yeah, because I was like looking at her last name, going, "Oh yeah, I don't want to wrestle with that,"
It's Überraschung.
and I'm going to completely forget about that by in the next 5 minutes. Um,
My smell will precede me, no doubt.
Yes, probably. Well, luck, not quite as bad as it could be. I mean, nobody actually fell into the muck.
That's true.
So she will receive receive your report, and it's like, right, okay, because she clearly wasn't necessarily wholly read in on that. And she'll suggest just check in with the magistrate tomorrow, in the morning, and because he'll be at the festival courts relatively early. Check in with him, and we'll see how this is going. Steinhager, you say?
Indeed. I wonder if it's
She
just
has
them.
a very troubled look that she dons for a moment, and she's like, well, this is going to get out of hand. Bloody witch hunters.
Who knows what they were trying to summon down there? And then rat-like beastmen. It's
Huh.
actually, Copper actually did identify them as Skaven, didn't she?
I don't think she did so publicly.
No,
I thought she
no,
actually said it.
I think she did. She said something.
I mean, we blew it
Uh.
off, but like, yeah, Copper said it was Skaven.
Yeah.
Skaven have been extinct for centuries.
I know, right?
Nope.
How weird would that be?
And everybody already knows that Copper is deluded about some things. So
I'm not deluded. What are you talking about?
Okay. And by the time Jorg possibly actually it'd make perfect sense for Jorg to end up going to report with Copper, and the other three just sort of fell away.
Yeah,
Then he
true.
turns around like, damn it. I hope they're not getting involved into something they shouldn't.
Well, Copper, let's go get drunk.
Aye.
Okay. Right. So the three who are doing shenanigans and hijinks. We have the map. Actually, I think I have to put everybody's image on there in order for it not to be just black, right?
Right.
Unless you have player visibility thing turned on.
Let me turn that on and see. That is player vision and movement on.
Yep, so then you can see what the other players see.
I am removing Jorg and Copper Tongue. Do you guys still see stuff on the map?
I see some things.
Right. So, yeah, just sort of.
Ah, yeah, okay. That's what we were missing the other day.
Yeah. Yay, I managed to not futz it up wholly. Yes. So, describe to me how you're the shenanigans you are undertaking. What are you planning on doing here?
I've already told them what they have to do. I'm going to just walk around whistling, and we'll have to come up with some sort of a signal that Enfys can offer if trouble's coming.
A giant bat in the sky.
Caw, caw.
Exactly. Caw, caw.
I don't know. This is totally right up Soren's alley.
Yeah, but Christoph is the one that has to take the ring off and use the warp stone to see if it, removes the curse or destroys the ring or what happens. So Enfys and Søren are going to be a distance from this. So Christoph has to do this by himself.
Soren is the proper thief.
Yeah, I steal shit. I don't put shit back. So, how are we going to do this? I can take it in and plant it, but how are we going to try this experiment to see if it'll do something to the ring?
Okay. With regards to I'm going to interject something here really quickly that Enfys will be aware of is the more you handle, every time you handle the warp stone, you have to make the health check to avoid corruption.
So I think you got to find a place to put the warp stone so it's sort of upright, and then Christoph is going to have to either ring toss it on or just drop it on and run.
Well, since I've got this warp stone in my pouch, perhaps Christoph can stick his finger in there and use the pouch to remove the ring, and then leave it in the pouch with the warp stone. You know what I'm trying to say? Do up the pouch, and then we can make it look as if, these people did exactly that, provided it doesn't explode.
Precisely.
And he'll give Christoph, a look, provided it doesn't explode. At which case, we're going to be over here when you do it.
Not if he's, sticking his finger in your pocket.
No, in my pouch. Like my purse or whatever. Little money pouch, but I will empty the money that's in the money pouch first.
Ooh, that means it's contaminated too.
All of that sounds like a great plan.
Okay.
Okay. So, where's the best place for him to do an insertion while I wander around the property, the streets that is, looking for trouble?
From what you guys are aware of with regards to oops, let me unhide everybody. Interesting. Even with the thing, it doesn't fully clear it out. I'm looking at the stream where it's like you can almost see what's underneath the line of sight stuff. Yeah, it is got mostly windows, and there is a single door. And as you guys do sort of at least meander past this area fairly late, you will see that there are 2 guards at the door and another 2 that are basically like patrolling, wandering around.
Is there a second story?
There is not. This is only a single-story building.
Okay. I think this is where Soren has to go and check to see if there's a window that's perhaps open and use that as the insertion point.
Okay. I am letting you guys drive this thing because this wasn't what I was expecting.
Well, we're first going to try the ring thing, and we'll do that in an area that's not here. So with any luck, we'll have a ring that is in the pouch with the warp stone, and then Soren's going to try and just deliver the pouch. Or insert the pouch that has the stone and ring in it.
I legitimately don't know what's going to happen there. So
You could roll universe.
Yeah, I was going to probably have Christoph make a universe reaction roll into the skull.
All right, that sounds like a reasonably insane plan. I'm on board.
Soren's a gambling man. He's going to take bets with once Christoph is going to do this and he's over there. Soren's going to take bets and he's going to say, "What's the money?" Let's say 2 shillings says he explodes or something bad happens.
And Enfys says, shillings? I bet a crown.
You can't be serious. That's a lot of... Oh. Do I have compulsive gambling? I have
That is
compulsive
very
spending.
interesting. Well, okay. So Christoph is basically putting the ring, around the nugget. You're also gonna need to make another health check there, Christoph, because you are having to physically manipulate and mess with the warp stone.
All right, you're on. Crown.
Easy peasy.
A crown, something bad happens.
Excellent.
So if I live, you guys are gonna owe me some money.
No. We're not betting with you.
Well, well, you're both bet that I blow up.
No. Soren's betting that something bad happens to you. Enfys thinks you'll be fine. And you don't know that we're taking bets, because that would be, that wouldn't be very friend-like. Betting on your demise and everything.
Well, you've never had any problems removing the ring, taking it off and putting it on. So it seems to work.
if this
I mean,
works,
nothing
it's
explodes?
totally going to frame them completely.
I
'Cause they'll
I
find
think
this.
I need to channel some magic into the ring through the warp stone.
Yeah, you do what you got to do. He's gonna explode.
Okay. How are you planning on doing that?
I'm totally removing myself as soon as I hear him say that. If he says it, I'm like backing away.
Yeah, you do that over there.
Okay, wait. Am I gonna try to wait? Did we say I was gonna try to plant it on somebody, or just kind of leave it somewhere?
No, you just take it off and put it onto the warp stone while it's still in the bag. And if you don't explode, then give me the pouch and I will try and plant it in this building
Oh, okay. Yeah, no
Well,
problem.
he
to
did
frame them.
explode.
That's what I did. It's in the bag.
He did not explode.
Nothing apparently bad happened to him.
Nothing that you could see.
Soren will say, fuck, and hand Enfys a crown.
How do I do the multiple person select?
It's in the menu, you've got an
I think it's
option there.
shift click, isn't it?
You got selection mode. And I think you can shift
Yes.
click or control click or something like that.
Gotcha. That's what I needed. All right. So Soren has down some money and they seem to have lost track of home. There's Enfys. All right. And Christoph has returned and given you the pouch. And
All right, so once he's going to wait until the patrolling guards sort of pass and are out of sight, then he's going to go to a window, and I guess he'll attempt to, do the credit card to flip the latch. I guess that would be a lock picking. Maybe.
yep,
And
probably lock picking.
yeah, and emphasis basically is going to be like in whatever shadow is being cast by any building.
And yeah, if guards approach or whatever, you've got a caw.
I can do that.
So the plan is open a window, have a look into the room, and then just like toss the bag and warpstone onto a desk or something like that. And then depart quickly.
Right. That's the plan. All right. So you sprint over there. Give me your lockpicking check. 5. All right. You are able to basically get the window open without too much difficulty. The room in question that you're looking at, it looks like a combination office / bedroom, such sort of thing. And it looks like it has been thoroughly trashed. I don't want to say trashed. That's not probably not right. But definitely tossed.
All right. So
And
in that
while
case,
you are looking at that,
all right.
give me a klepto check. 'Cause come on, this place has probably got some stuff in there.
All right.
Well, look at that. Fail by 2.
So does Soren see something?
Yeah, he's going to be able to see some stuff. It's like, oh, I could sell that. I could sell that. I could sell that.
All right, then Soren's gonna look back to the group, and he's basically indicating that he's going off script, and he's going to climb into through the window.
Do we?
And that was the last we ever saw of it.
Yeah. Do we have to make a roll to see if we understand his off-script gesture?
Well, it's not so much a gesture. It's like, yeah, I'm doing this.
Ah, I see. Okay.
I'm totally going in.
Okay.
He looked back, gave you that I'm about to do something really stupid smile, and then promptly went and did something really stupid.
Okay. So at that, Envis is going to say, kind of like throw his hands up in the air, shake his head, and I'm going to start walking away.
That's probably the smart play. What about Kristoff?
I mean, can I want to stay and watch. He's curious. What's Soren gonna do?
Probably something dumb.
So glad I don't have curious.
Also, he's thinking Soren might need a distraction if anything goes awry.
He's gonna need something. Give me a stealth check there, Soren. As you worm your way into the room. By 6. That's pretty good.
I guess it'll be by 7 because this is something stupid and he has Daredevil.
Then it's going to be by 6 again because you're kind of tipsy, so you're at -1. Do you see the skulls?
Yes.
Yep.
I generally go for blue colors when for the dice, but it's just like, oh yeah, this is Warhammer. I absolutely need skulls. That's awesome. You worm your way into the room. Probably not as stealthy as you would like, but then you're never going to be as stealthy quite as you like. And once you're in there, you will absolutely hear some voices coming from the other side of the door, which is open. It looks like probably all of the doors are open because from where you're at, you can see the other side, and it looks like, well, of course if the witch hunters came through here and tossed the place, then of course they're gonna leave the windows open. Damn, that is a hell of a delay. I just had the Twitch up, and it just now rolled my dice.
Wow.
Okay, so you have wormed your way in.
So the first thing Soren's going to do is plant the pouch. He's going to put the pouch somewhere so it's obvious. So it's on the floor. So when someone comes in, they're gonna see this pouch. And then he's going to proceed to grab valuable shit. He'll do it quickly. Once he's got something valuable, he's going to make his escape.
Okay. kind of awesome valuables is he going to end up with? Let me look at this place.
You could roll on the Dungeon Fantasy treasure table thing.
I don't have that loaded. I'd have to jump through the hoops to look at that. I'm totally thinking maybe he'll end up with a ring that won't go away.
Suppose you could do a universe thing.
I don't know how that would really work.
Yeah, it's if you get a little bit, you get a lot. You get something super expensive. It's vague, but
Well, I'm glancing through the description of the offices to see if they have anything immediately listed that is that leaps out and it's like, oh, that could be useful for actually participating. I'm just going to say he grabbed something valuable, and I'm going to figure out what it is afterwards. All right. So while you give me another,
There is this
stealth-
one.
There is what one?
Just drop the link. So you can roll on that and then just find something, I guess, non-magical. Because I don't imagine there'd be magical stuff here that the witch hunters didn't find.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of suspecting it's probably going to be something like damn it, I don't remember what those are called. The ink wells that they use for, like, pens in the area, pens and quills, but like this one is made of gold or silver or something.
I think you got it right.
Yeah, inkwell. That is right. Yeah.
All right. So another stealth roll.
Yes.
So that would be succeed by 2 with the daredevil.
So the two guards that are standing watch are inside, are grumbling, and they are talking about what's going on and such like that. So I got one that was kind of close, and you will actually overhear as you are heading back towards the toward the window. Um, One of them is saying that the the entire merchant, all four, or one of the other merchant houses, is like totally agreeing to testify against Steinhager, and they're talking about just tearing them all down.
Nice bit of gossip.
All right. Okay, so you managed to get in and get out, and then let's see. Are you leaving the window open?
I
Or are you
will.
trying to lock it again?
I'll try and lock it again, but I'm not going to try too hard. But I'll leave it closed, so it's not obvious.
I did notice something interesting on this select thing, that if you're using this line of sight thing and you're dragging something, if it hits like a corner, it like loses one of the guys. Damn it. Let me get these guys back
Wow.
over here and show you. So I've got those guys selected, right? And it's like I hit this corner. You see how one of them stops?
Oh,
Yeah. That's because you can't move through obstacles. That's not the line of sight thing, that's the walls.
Yeah. I figured it was something like that. It's just like I thought it was
It's
kind
like
of interesting.
you can't move through walls. And you can't move through locked doors. You have to unlock them first.
Dang it, that would have been a great time to do that, and I can't because I still have lots of time.
Then Cern will go and catch up with Kristoff, and
But not Enfys, who has disappeared.
he'll say, "Where's Enfys? Low down, rotten scum. Supposed to be
Are-
watching
Are you
my
both-
back."
Are you
I think Infus had to go to the Jakes. He ran off rather quickly.
My ass, he took my money, and he's going to get drunk. Oh, by the way, we took bets that you're going to explode.
So Christoph went into the room with Soren?
No,
No.
Oh,
he just
so
came out, and once he came out, he went over to Kristoff.
oh, I see. Okay. So Soren got out successfully. All right. Because Enfys was only going to go so far and then turn around and come back, realizing that he's not going to leave Soren in the lurch. So just as that's happening, Enfys will be coming back.
And this is when you give Kristoff some money, because you took bets that I was going to get caught.
I don't remember making any bets with Christoph, but I will come back and just as I see Soren kind of coming back across the street.
All right, it's done. Let's go finish drinking.
Excellent. Drinks on me.
You mean me?
So just as a check, Christoph is going to feel underneath his ring finger, checking for the ring.
Well, last time you sold it it was gone, and you just didn't realize that it came back.
Check your pockets.
Yeah, see, now he's gonna find it. It's gonna be like completely wrapped up in warpstone, and he can't get rid of it.
Sucks
All
to be
right.
you.
Let's go find a tavern and drink to your success in planning it.
Planning what?
Exactly.
I didn't plan anything.
We also have to figure out who we're going to tell to go check this place out now.
Oh, I put it in a place that it's going to be obvious. Someone's going to find it.
All right. Excellent.
A money pouch out in the open. No one's going to walk past that.
Excellent.
But it didn't have my money in it. Just confirming with the GM. Apparently, Enfys has all Cern's money.
All right, let's go find a tavern and sit down and drink and talk this over.
So, Christoph, check your pockets. Is it gone?
Yeah, Christoph is like checking his pockets, checking his ring, fingers, all that stuff.
Oh, that's disgusting, dude. You should do that in private.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you guys are going off to get yourself hammered. Conveniently, there are plenty of taverns and inns in the general area, and some of them are quite nice. Some of them are less nice, and 100% of the conversation at either place, wherever you are drinking right now, is the fact that the witch hunters apparently raided House Steinhager, and everybody is wondering, what does this mean? Are they going to go after Tugan next, or Rugbroder, or the other one that the GM can't remember right now because he's dumb? Hagen. I need to remember that. It's not
Right.
Hagen Dazs, it's Hagen. But this would normally, as both Jorg and Soren would be aware, this would normally be, since it's the first day of the Schaffenfest, that would normally be the first thing that everybody was talking about. Be like, oh yeah, I won this thing at the fair, or I got this pretty awesome goat, or just in general stuff about the Schaffenfest. But nobody's even talking about it because of of these events. Let's see. So, with regards to right, Soren, you probably or not Soren, but Ronki, you probably forgot because it's been at least a week. But you also wanted to at least mention to I think his name is Bowman, the guy in charge of the Crooked Fingers, about the fact that the witch hunters were down there in the sewers.
Yes.
So you may want to keep that in mind for later. So it sounds like you guys are probably going to be relatively intoxicated.
And he'll also be working on his contact group.
Yeah.
And Enfys just dropped like 50 shillings on booze.
Whew. Wow, that's a lot of money. You seem to be very popular then. Okay, so dang it, I did not. I think I'm gonna probably end it a bit earlier than normal tonight, because one of the things the way I want to do that. Okay, so a couple things. Soren likely needs to at least let Bowman know about the stuff, and well, that guy does kind of run a tavern, so it absolutely he's runs the one that's across the street from the barracks, so it's nice and convenient for watch people to go over there and get drunk. So I'm going to operate on the presumption that you are going over there to let at least have drinks and or let him know. While you are going there, or once you enter, you'll likely find Copper Tongue and Jorg several mugs in. Neither one of them will probably look particularly enthusiastic over the fact that good old Sergeant Rudy has joined them.
Nope.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, he's griping about basically standing watch and doing nothing and sitting there, and he's interested in what you guys did and found, and extra gruff and unfriendly. Yeah, go ahead.
Not sure how I would respond to that. Probably just kind of blow it off like nothing really all that interesting. It was a sewer. There was shit. And there was some paraphernalia and the witch hunters got involved.
So as he's complaining, Copper Tongue's just gonna go like look down at like her like her armor where it got burned from the acid and like burns that she might have like on her arm or something on her skin, and just grunt and keep drinking. And then eventually she's going to get up and walk off and move to a different table.
Oh.
Søren will sort of
I wish I
follow her.
had thought of this before, but if I could have come up with something that we did that was really awesome and then let Rudy take credit for it. Only it wasn't true. I have to think about that.
Yeah, think about that.
Søren's going to follow Copper Tongue and say, "So, do you think you can make me a new short sword? One that won't break?"
Copper Tongue will just, she's in a pretty bad mood. She'll just grunt and then eventually nod. Tomorrow or next day off or something.
That reminds
Awesome.
me, you do anything with that long knife?
I think I made a roll for it, right?
No,
but we
not yet.
haven't had, we haven't had a lot of time to actually work on. Yeah, it hasn't been free time.
So she could totally go, yeah, I'm not going to the Schavenfest thing tomorrow. I'm gonna go do some hammering.
Yeah, she may just do that.
So Soren, give me a body language check into the skull, please. So as you guys are sitting there drinking, you will note that the proprietor, Franz Baumann, is up there behind the bar, basically. But Soren, you will actually note that he seems very, very focused and intent on Sergeant Rudy. From just a glance, because you admittedly you are a little tipsy, but he seems troubled.
He'll point this out to Christoph and Emphasis and say, and Jorg if Jorg's there.
Okay, so remember, Bauman is the guy in charge of basically the town thieves guild. Would he point any of that stuff out to them? Because he knows that. And that is the guy that you were like wanting to warn about the witch hunters.
Right, but he's looking at Rudy intently, right?
Yeah.
Rudy's not
Clumpendouche.
count. Oh, sorry.
Clumpendouche actually sat down with us, didn't he?
Yes.
So he's right in front
Right.
of us.
Okay. So he won't say anything.
Although Coppertongue got up to go get another drink, and then when she sat down, she took a different table.
We should all do that, like one at a time.
Yeah. Søren won't say anything, but he will sort of acknowledge that. At some point, he'll acknowledge Bauman. He'll at least let him know that he knows he's there.
Well, yeah, you know he's there. He's standing behind the bar. It's like wiping it down and cleaning cups and stuff.
Well, he'll at least know that Søren knows, or has looked over to him.
He'll give him the what's going on look.
And
Actually,
Bauman will.
Since
Yeah, go ahead.
he'll go up to the bar, he'll order a drink, and he'll say, "What's with the death stares?" Or what's with the look?
I need to show you something downstairs.
The actual downstairs, or is that a
Søren.
euphemism?
Søren will look around and he says, well, we're kind of drinking here. How important is it?
He's going to. Bauman will look at Klumpenklug and say, "It's pretty important."
Right. And just to be clear, we're talking about the basement, not your stuff, right?
How many have you had?
Just checking. You don't know what... This town is full of strange people. Not that I have any problem with it. But anyway, let's go.
Brother, you have no idea.
And he'll be
he-
discreet.
Yep.
He won't make it obvious that he's leaving with him.
Right. He will. You'll end up being meeting up with him, and he'll have the cool secret access way, and such like that, and some quick stares, and once he is down there, he's like that sergeant you were drinking with. You know him
Yeah.
well?
Well enough. He's my boss.
While
I'm doing this thing. You know my situation.
Yep.
By the way,
And
I should mention, we did an excursion down into the sewers, chasing a greenskin. We went past your door, so the witch hunters at least know it's there. So you may want to clean up in here, and just in case they decide to
because
take a look.
it would be very difficult to explain this. He pushes into the this little celery area, and one of the guys you've seen here before, it's the quiet one, is basically sitting on a really big chest, and it looks like, honestly, it would look like a freezer sort of thing. And he looks at Bauman, who nods. He's like, so we fished a body out of the sewer 2 days ago. It was floating. right outside the door, starting to stink the place up. Well,
Hey, what's unusual about that?
he opens the, lifts the lid, and you are legitimately staring at Sergeant Rudy Klumpenklug.
Eh?
Oh, shit.
Now you understand why I'm really confused about who the hell you're having drinks with up there.
Zoinks!
Søren will grab his knife and he'll go, he is dead, right? And he'll like stab his knife into him.
Absolutely dead. He's absolutely dead. He will actually, have his the big guys sort of shift the sort of clothes out of the way, and you will see that there's like terrible cuts and slices and such like that. I have and frankly, it legitimately looks like his heart may have been actually torn out or cut out.
Hmm.
Did we see that with the purple hand guys that got mauled?
The bounty hunters.
Right. Yeah, that.
I was about to say, you saw the bounty hunter guy who was mutilated. It was like a little bit more than a week ago now. And these injuries look really, really similar.
Resisting the urge to go out there and just stab him.
No. Resisting the urge to come up with a really bad plan right on the spot.
Right. Okay.
I figured
So,
that would just be automatic.
Enfys, you have spent a great deal of money for a lot of alcohol, and you are absolutely having to hit the jacks more than a few times. You
Okay.
are, and you're in the process of you've just finished and you're tying up, and you are going to hear a voice call out and says, "Hello, Enfys." It is a familiar voice.
It's not little Enfys, is it?
That would have been funny, but no. You turn to face the speaker, and there is a flash before everything goes dark for you. And with that, we are going to fade to black. We are going to cue the music, and we're going to roll the credits. If you are watching this and you have any comments, questions, complaints, or general heckling, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Please consider liking and subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels, or don't. I am not your dad. Anyway, thank you for watching. Olympus out.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.